In 1980, during a 2-week retreat at Tiger's Nest in Bhutan, Rinpoche had a vision of the great 18th century master Jigme Lingpa. In this vision, Jigme Lingpa blessed him as the lineage holder of the heart essence tradition, the innermost secret teachings of the great perfection. Under Khyentse Rinpoche's guidance, an immense number of teachings, empowerments, and reading transmissions were made available to the Bhutanese people. Upon reflecting on Khyentse Rinpoche's impact on her country, the Queen Mother wrote, because the great masters of Tibet were forced to escape their homeland, Dilgo Khyentse came to live in the medicinal valleys of Bhutan. He came to our country through the power of past karma and prayers, and protected Bhutan with his unceasing blessings.
It's extremely precious just to receive few words of teachings from Khyentse Rinpoche, because even something very simple, like if it tells you be compassionate or reduce your attachments, even those very simple words which we have heard so many times, when we hear them from someone like him, it's so obviously the expression of truth. It makes such a deep impression in our mind. It seems that we never heard those words, and suddenly we start to realize that this is how things are. And that makes one understand why a spiritual teacher is so important.
Rinpoche had over 60 teachers from all the 4 schools of Tibetan Buddhism. In a true spirit of a non-sectarian master, Khyentse Rinpoche, even in his 70s and 80s, would request teachings that he had not yet received to preserve Tibet's spiritual heritage. Here, he receives an oral transmission from Jamgang Kongtrul Rinpoche.
So Khyentse Rinpoche is very concerned about other lineages also in Tibetan Buddhist school. Some lineages, Rinpoche would say that, oh, this lineage has been broken. One time we had this one very clumsy looking monk came in to see Rinpoche, and since there's so many other important lamas were there, so we made this monk wait for quite some time. And then after the lamas went, and I said, this monk can go in, so he went inside. Then after a long time, this monk was never coming out. So we said, what is he doing? You know, we went inside, and Rinpoche was receiving teaching from this humble monk. And that was like Rinpoche was almost 78, 79, near end of his life. He was still constantly receiving teachings and all this kind of thing.
Rinpoche made sure that he was accessible to anyone wanting to meet him. He always said to his attendants, whoever comes to see me comes in the hope of receiving some benefit, so don't stop them from seeing me.